Customs. Situations. Find out. Follow. Straight. Flat. Polite. Lost. To have a good time. To have no idea. All right, let's look at the first columns of nouns. Customs. Customs means two different things. You know, when you leave the country or come into the country, you go through customs. And that is a sort of government branch which checks what you're bringing in or taking out of the country. That's what we call customs. Customs, that means, well, it only comes up when you're leaving the country or coming into the country. Like if you don't have, you know, there are certain things you can't take out of a country, like food. Certain kinds of food you can't take out. Or you can't take out, if you buy a lot of jewelry in Thailand, you're supposed to show your receipts. Yes, supposed to show receipts. That's customs. But customs, the way it's used here, when we talk about how people, what are the customs of a country, we mean, what do people usually do in that country? So what are the customs of Thai people? What are the customs of American people? That's a different use of customs. So it's customs a part of the culture of the people. That's different, yes, part of culture, yes. Yes, good. Okay. Now, this other expression, you all know what it means to have a good time. But to have no idea, we'll see the way it's used in here. If you say to me, I ask somebody in Bangkok, how do I get to the Grand Palace? And someone says, I have no idea. That's an English expression. I have no idea of how to get there. Clear? Yeah, I have no idea. Okay. All right, so I will read it once and then you will read this. How can I get to the post office? I have a special rule for travel. Never carry a map. I prefer to ask for directions. Sometimes I get lost, but I usually have a good time. I can practice a new language, meet new people, and learn new customs. And I find out about different styles of directions every time I ask, how can I get to the post office? Foreign tourists are often confused in Japan because most streets there don't have names. In Japan, people use landmarks in their directions instead of street names. For example, the Japanese will say to travelers, go straight down to the corner, turn left at the big hotel, and go past a fruit market. The post office is across from the bus stop. In the countryside of the American Midwest, there are not usually many landmarks. There are no mountains, so the land is very flat. In many places, there are no towns or buildings within miles. Instead of landmarks, people will tell you directions and distances. In Kansas or Iowa, for instance, people will say, go north 2 miles, turn east, then go another mile. People in Los Angeles, California, have no idea of distance on the map. They measure distance in Los Angeles numbers in time, not miles. How far away is the post office, you ask? Oh, they answer, it's about 5 minutes from here. You say yes, but how many miles away is it? They don't know. People in Greece sometimes do not even try to give directions because tourists seldom understand the Greek language. Instead, a Greek will often say, "Follow me." Then he'll lead you through the streets of the city to the post office. Sometimes a person doesn't know the answer to your question. What happens in this situation? A New Yorker might say, "Sorry, I have no idea." But in Yucatan, Mexico, no one answers, "I don't know." People in Yucatan believe that "I don't know" is impolite. They usually give an answer, often a wrong one. A tourist can get very, very lost in Yucatan. One thing will help you everywhere. In Japan, the United States, Greece, Mexico, or any other place. You might not understand a person's words, but you can probably understand the person's body language. He or she will usually turn and then point in the correct direction. Go in that direction and you may find the post office. Now, before you read, would you tell me if there is any question about what I read? Okay, let's look at paragraph B, landmarks. Does everyone know what landmarks mean?
In Thailand, it is the hotel.
Good, a hotel would be a landmark. Instead of a street name, you say go two blocks past the market, turn left at the hotel.
The place for notice.
Pardon?
Place for notice.
What?
The place for easy to notice.
Yes, a place that's easy for you to see. Yes, right, yeah. A hotel, a building, anything, a park can be a landmark. All right? Notice paragraph C, in the countryside of the American Midwest.
Suburb.
Suburb?
Yeah.
Very good, man. That's very good. Yeah. A countryside. Well, you know country, the name of a country, Thailand, Australia, United States. But country in English also means where there are trees and grass. So sometimes a person in the city will say, "I'd like to spend weekends in the country, get out of the city and go to a place where there are grass." So we say urban. Urban is adjective for we live in an urban area in Bangkok. And Lynn, you used a very good word, suburb. You see, suburb is outside of the city. And if you go far outside of the city, we say you are in a rural area. This is rural, very country. Rural, very country. Yes?
Can we say uncivil?
Can we say
uncivilization?
Say it again.
Uncivilized
Uncivilized? What is that? Uncivilized.
city.
A class. Uncivilized. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Steve. No, uncivilized, a very strong word. You know, very strong. Uncivilized means
very beautiful.
no, very bad. Uncivilized is not a good word. I mean, it's a bad word, but if sometimes people say, "I don't want to be in this country, the people are uncivilized," it means they don't act decently, like decent, normal human beings. So it's uncivilized. I can't think of any place. Maybe in a deep jungle somewhere. Deep jungle may be uncivilized, but we don't use that term very much. It's often used in a kind of insulting way. You know, insulting way. these people are uncivilized. They don't act decently, you know. So we don't usually use that. Sometimes, especially city people, sometimes have a snobbish look down and will say, oh, these people are uncivilized. You know, way out here. Not a nice way. Any question about anything else? Now, everyone understands in Los Angeles, in many big cities, people give distance by time. Oh, I live 20 minutes from here. You know, you don't know how far. I live 20 minutes. I live 20 minutes by train. You know. This last one, this paragraph F, I have been in situations like that, where people think it's impolite to say, I don't know. So they will give you any answer. And you could end up anywhere.
Location.
Sometimes when a person feels that you ask the person how to get to a place, and I don't know, they don't want to say, I don't know. So they will tell you anything to give you an answer. Right. All right, so let's start reading here. All right, Porn, start reading the first paragraph, and we'll go around.
How can I get to the post office? I have a special rule for travel. Never carry a map. I prefer to ask for directions. Sometimes I get lost, but I usually have a good time. I can practice a new language, meet new people, and learn new customs. And I find out about different styles of the directions every time I ask, how can I get to the post office?
Good. Now, I noticed that Porn read the punctuation. That's very important. In other words, when she got to, I have a special rule for travel, colon, there was a slight pause. Never carry a map. When she got to sometimes I get lost, comma, but I usually have a good time. That's very good, class. So when the rest of you begin reading, please notice the punctuation when you read. All right, what? B.
Foreign tourists are often confused in Japan because most streets don't have names. In Japan, people use landmarks in their directions instead of street names. For example, the Japanese will say to travelers, go straight down to the corner, turn left at the big hotel, and go past